Probably the single most hype character released since the beginning of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, being Shallot, a crossover character from Dragon Ball Legends, has been confirmed. Now, the main issue that everyone has with Shallot's, obvious addition to Sparking Zero is that this game is not Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, right? We all agree on that? Leave a like if you agree on that. And Shallot is from Dragon Ball Legends, where he has Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, God, and Blue. He even has a fusion. So why is it that Sparking Zero is only marketing us base Shallot in his character reveal trailer, when this is a character who can go into basically every Super Saiyan form? I would say we need to hold off on our impatience and be ready for the actual truth about Shallot and his transformation case in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, because it tragically might be the same as Daima Goku Mini's transformation case. Hello everyone, it's me again, Stedojo here, and I'm going to make this really quick. Shallot, Dragon Ball Legends, very awesome character. He has every single transformation in Dragon Ball, every mainline transformation in Dragon Ball. He doesn't have stuff like Super Saiyan Blue Evolved, but he's got basically every single Super Saiyan form. Okay, great, cool, awesome. So why is it that we only see him fight in base form in the, Sparking Zero teaser trailer? And I think there's a very obvious reason for it, so I'll just get the first one out the way. Shallot will be able to transform when he gets in Sparking Zero straight up, I believe. Now, they could announce something else, because keep in mind, it's only like 9 days till the character actually officially gets revealed. But one main thing I wanted to point out with Shallot's character trailer is that the characters that Shallot fights are all before he becomes a Super Saiyan, right? First from Frieza, Nappa, Ginyu, Broly. Those are all characters he fights or has interactions with before he ever unlocks Super Saiyan. Hell, the way he actually unlocks Super Saiyan is from Vegeta and Nappa dying, protecting him from fighting Final Form Frieza. And they didn't show Final Form Frieza in the trailer, they showed First Form Frieza. So most likely, maybe we'll get another trailer just before the release of the character, revealing, yes, Shallot does indeed have Super Saiyan. And then we'll also in that same trailer reveal that he has Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, God, Blue. Now, you guys let me know what transformation you think Shallot's going to actually end up with. I think they'll just do what they did with DBS Goku and DBS Vegeta, where they just do regular Super Saiyan God, and Super Saiyan Blue. I don't think they'll add every single slot, because then Shallot would, I think he'd be the guy with the most individual transformations in the game. But I think they'll just go with Super Saiyan 1, God, and Blue with Shallot. But Shallot could actually get other transformations revealed in an upcoming trailer. Again, keep in mind, the Daima DLC Pack 1 trailer only showed us Goku and Vegeta. Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, Super Saiyan Goku. Didn't even show Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, if I recall. Didn't even tell us that we had Glorio, Majin Buu, and Pansy coming up, right? So, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is kind of weird with its trailers, where they tease a little bit, and then they reveal the full thing later. The same could be done with Shallot in that scenario, because obviously, again, this character actually, this isn't a new character that just came into existence like the Daima characters. Shallot's been around for years. Shallot's been able to transform into a Super Saiyan for an eternity. He's existed since DBS has ended, because that's when Dragon Ball Legends, I'm pretty sure, was getting marketed, right? Everyone thought Shallot was going to be Broly in the DBS Broly movie. That's around the time Shallot existed. So Shallot's been able to turn into a Super Saiyan for ages. He's been able to turn into a Super Saiyan 3 for years. Super Saiyan God and Blue also for years. So it's really weird how the trailer only shows base from Shallot, but it makes sense when you look at the enemies he's fighting, because again, if you played with Dragon Ball Legends story, you know that these are the enemies he faces before he actually ever reaches or unlocks Super Saiyan for the first time. And this part could be seen as a nitpick, so I'll make it really quick. The music that they do play in the trailer is the base Dragon Ball Legends soundtrack for the main theme of Dragon Ball Legends, right? I do want to specifically state it is not Shallot's Super Saiyan theme, which is actually a standalone theme he has in the game for when he unlocks Super Saiyan. They didn't play that at all in this trailer. I imagine they'll save it for his actual Super Saiyan reveal, because Shallot's Super Saiyan theme is good. A lot of people like it a lot. It's used very effectively throughout the story. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just waiting till then to reveal, obviously, Shallot's SSJ form alongside the, the OST that comes with it. Now, one major thing I think a lot of people overlooked when it comes to Shallot is not only the fact that, Super Saiyan forms that come with him, but Shallot is a guy who is customizable in the game. You could change Shallot's outfit, you can give him accessories, you can give Shallot all of these things. And Sparking Zero just so conveniently has the option and abilities to do that. Now, I'm not going to make this a long point, because it's a reach, if anything, because Sparking Zero doesn't even do stages, which I'll get onto in a bit. But Shallot, he does have the option to change accessories. He has the option to change costumes. This might be, maybe, the first DLC character we have that can actually just straight up, you can just change his outfit, and you can just give him new accessories. Shallot has a boundless amount of things to get, whether it be the driving license shirt from Piccolo, or Saiyan armor. He's got different swords he can put on his back from all the accessory options. Again, Shallot is a character that has all these freedoms available to him in his own game. And Sparking Zero, unlike Xenoverse 2, is a game where he could actually, have the same features put on him. So I'm just saying that'd be pretty cool. but most likely it will not be the case because obviously again Sparking Zero barely does customization. The same how it doesn't do stages, because with Shallot comes no new stages. Now, to be fair, Dragon Ball Legends doesn't really have any unique stages I can think of at the current moment in time. I think most of Dragon Ball Legends' locations are just actual Dragon Ball locations. And even in the terms of like Sparking Zero, some of the like sites you can see in Dragon Ball Legends, you can also see in Sparking Zero. If you simply just fly high enough, or if you fly to a certain side of the map, you can probably find a scenario or an area that just looks similar to, if not the exact same, as a location you could fight in Dragon Ball Legends. So, I don't know, the only thing I think they could do that would be different is adding an obvious ice stage, because how the hell does the game not have the Dragon Ball Super Broly ice stage, right? But, yeah, with all these new characters, it's kind of hard to do anything if you are just playing on the same stages over and over and over again, you know? Like, obviously, it's nice to play with new characters, right? But again, Dragon Ball Legends understands adding new stages, Fighters understands adding new stages. The Galactic, like, tournament stage for Fighters is so cool. It's my favorite stage by far. It makes what was a normal battle happening in the middle of the nowhere, or in a ruined, torn down area, or just like a little training island, become like a grand spectacle. And I think that really fits for the game too. You see what I mean? How the stages can add so much feel to the gameplay, which Sparking Zero doesn't do, because it doesn't add any more stages. Hell, Xenoverse 2 even adds more stages. Red Ribbon Army Base, Tournament of Power, Ruined Future. It's it, man. I don't know what's going on in Sparking Zero, but they need to get their head together. Another great example, actually, is Kakarot. Even when Kakarot's doing stuff, like the End of Z, which takes place in the exact same world as Dragon Ball Z, they still change a lot of the places of the map. They change buildings, they change like the way the tournament looks, they change environments, because a lot of time has passed, so the environments change to match how they look in the End of Z and stuff like that as well. And I think that's just cool. But Sparking Zero does not go the extra mile, which is obviously extremely tragic, because you know it's the current Dragon Ball game. It's the biggest Dragon Ball game out right now. And a lot of people are actually upset with Shallot reusing attack animations from the actual game, but Shallot does already copy people's moves in his game, and even says, I'm borrowing your move. Now, the difference is that this isn't a mobile game, this is a big console game where you can just do more of Shallot's animations and make them the exact same. At least the camera angles are different and stuff, but I don't blame people for being upset at this, although I do want to say that this is a canon thing he does do. He does take other people's moves. There's also the obvious reality that maybe they're actually only going to release a base form Shallot and then tragically release his transformations in a later update. They did the same thing with Daima Goku Mini, and people bought that DLC because they technically had already bought the season pass because they pre-ordered the games, and to the game devs, that's numbers, that counts anyways, that's good enough. So they'll most likely release Shallot's other transformations in a later date if they do not release it with his actual release. Again, he releases very soon. It's like in 10-ish days, 9-ish days. So that's not a lot of time left to show off trailers of him transforming. I would like if that was the case, but it's not realistically a lot of time left. So I imagine that they will actually just tease Shallot's transformations in a new trailer, or in a trailer that releases way after the character actually releases. You have stuff like his Rising Rush being his ultimate attack, which again obviously is really, really cool, but that's a very final thing to do. You would expect that to be on his like Super Saiyan form or his Super Saiyan Blue form or something. So I don't know. I'm just hoping that we actually do get transformations. But if I'm being honest, if you base it on the way they did Goku Mini, they are probably very confident in just not releasing the other forms until, they can make more money on them or something. My biggest issue with that, though, is that Shallot isn't like Goku Mini, where Goku Mini released with no Super Saiyan, because when the anime released, Goku Mini was not a Super Saiyan yet. And while it did take until the anime to end for them to finally add Super Saiyan Goku Mini, Shallot has been able to transform from very early on in Dragon Ball Legends, and he's been around for 7 damn years with all of these different transformations. Like, when did Shallot get Super Saiyan Blue? Like 3-4 years ago? Shallot has had these forms for ages. It'd be weird to have him not release those forms. It would make the character, again, more playable, right? Because if you release a 5 DP base form Shallot into the game, no one is going to play him. You want to know why? Because he has to fight 9 DP UI Goku, 10 DP Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, 9 DP Beast Gohan. No one's going to want to play just base Shallot in an environment that has all of these other characters. And you have to keep in mind the amount of Sparking Zero fans that might not even be Dragon Ball Legends fans, or even know who Shallot is, or even care for Shallot. Like, oh, wow, a new character. Okay, let's see. Oh, he's a Saiyan that only has a base form. That is a weird decision. I'm not going to play him. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. At least with Xenoverse 2, adding Human 21 made sense to me, because at the time, Human 21 wasn't playable in her own game, right? If you want to, people are saying, oh, I wish we could play 21 in a human form. That wasn't possible for ages in Dragon Ball FighterZ. So when Xenoverse 2 had its collab with Dragon Ball FighterZ and they were like, hey, human 21, people were like, that makes sense. We would still like to have both her forms in Xenoverse 2, but Xenoverse 2 is famously known for not doing transformations. If the game ever does transformations, it's the character starting off in their transformed state. It's so rare for them to actually do transformations. So Human 21 made sense of the way Xenoverse's design is, and it made sense of the fact that that character wasn't playable. In Dragon Ball Legends, though, almost every character that they've released in like since the game has come out can transform, right? Literally almost every character can transform. Shallot has been able to transform from a base form to blue and even have a fusion transformation in his own game. And then in Sparking Zero, it's like, okay, let's release base Shallot, no transformations, no fusions, and this character has been playable for 7 years. And it's like, what the... What are we smoking here with that design? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I think you guys can all agree with me that that just does not make any sense. Either way, I think that's a solid place to end the video. You guys let me know what your thoughts and feelings and opinions are on Shallot, because Shallot is a character I feel like he is definitely by far the most hype, like, single character trailer in the game. I don't think anyone's gonna lie to you and tell you that. Like, I'm gonna be real. Ultra Instinct Goku, we know he drops with the game, right? Like, how crazy can you make UI Goku really look? I think Shallot is a more hype reveal straight up. Not only is he a character you straight up just do not expect, but he's a character that people really, really like. And the promise of Shallot being added is the promise of many other things being added. Again, he's a crossover character. Who else can shop? Can we get Towa and Mira as well as playable characters? Maybe Supreme Kai of Time, Xeno Trunks. Hell, we might even get 21, Margin 21. Those are all options available to us. Obviously not Super Dragon Ball Hero stuff, but we can at least get stuff from the other Dragon Ball games that exist out right now. So Shallot's reveal, I feel like is the single biggest character reveal in the game, because not only is he hype and you don't expect him at all, as well as being a fan favorite character, but what he has to offer from being in the roster is a lot, because it means we could get a lot of other characters. But the issue is, will all of those other characters also suffer the same issue? Is Mira only going to have his one base form and not his final form from Xenoverse 2? Is Towa not going to have any of her transformations from Super Dragon Ball Heroes? Is Supreme Kai of Time not going to turn into a giant Supreme Kai of Time? Are we going to even get Super Saiyan if we get Xeno Trunks straight up? You know? Those are issues we have to worry about. Hell, 21 won't even turn into a Margin. But you know what I mean. Those are things we do have to worry about when it comes to Sparking Zero. But regardless, great place to end the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then obviously again, please leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to greatly support the channel. And leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next, amigos. I do love you all. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you all next time. Take care and peace.